Hello and welcome to Uber News. If you have read the news, if you've watched TV, if you've surfed the internet, you must have heard. Richard III was the only English king to be buried unceremoniously in Leicester, which was the market town closest where he died, Bosworth. After he died, Henry VII took the throne, Henry Tudor, ending finally the Plantagenet line, which had lasted for centuries. Richard III reigned between 1483 and 1485, only 2 years, but he made a mark on English history. Historians are still arguing about who he really was. Was he a good king who was the victim of a smearing campaign, but in fact was good and true and loyal and honest? Or was he an evil man, opportunistic, thirsty for power, ready to do anything to get the crown? Here are the 3 facts you need to know to make up your mind about Richard III. Fact number 1. Did he kill his nephews in the Tower? Yes. No. We don't know really. The fact is Edward IV died young. He was only in his 40s. His son, also called Edward, but he was very young, he was only 13. So Richard, his beloved brother, stepped in and told everyone he was going to help the king. He was very young, wasn't he? So he had the king and his brother, also called Richard, Duke of York, in the Tower for safety, awaiting coronation. The 2 boys go there and they disappear, literally. Okay, so they disappeared, but does this mean that Richard had them killed? Many things that he did actually. It was all in his interest. Once the nephews were out of the way, he was free to take the crown. Others say, well, Richard had already declared the boys illegitimate, which meant they couldn't take the throne. Why should he have taken the risk of killing these 2 boys and getting so much bad publicity just at the beginning of his career as king? Why? Fact number 2. Was Richard really evil? Well, when his brother Edward IV was on the throne, Richard was very loyal to him, unlike his brother Clarence, who had to be executed for treason. Fact number 3. Was Richard a coward who died trying to run away from battle? No. William Shakespeare tells us that Richard died screaming, "A horse! My kingdom for a horse!" He wants to run away, but in fact it's not true. In fact, he died charging in battle. He knew he was losing and he decided to die a soldier death. Everybody was saying that Richard was quite a brave soldier, and although he was quite small, he was quite powerful. William Shakespeare also tells us that Richard had a hunchback. The excavation that led to the recovery of the body, in fact, does show a curvature in the spine. Yes, he had scoliosis, hunchback. But he was also quite slim, apparently. So people wonder, how can this skinny man be such a powerful and feared soldier? We don't know, but it's quite true, he was. There's no doubt about it. Henry VII, the king who came after Richard, did his best to convince people that Richard was no good. But the new excavation has shed new light in this man and has restarted a debate. Why do we care so much about Richard, what it looked like, what he really did or say? Because we know that we don't really know the truth. Not the whole truth. Not yet.